Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and a happy Thanksgiving to everyone who is celebrating it out there today in the US. As far as I'm concerned, don't different parts like Canada, obviously I'm not trying to say that Canada is part of the US. No, don't go there, Mr. QuickyBaby, but doesn't Canada celebrate it around about October time instead? Is that because it gets really cold up there, and obviously you're probably going to have to harvest things a little bit earlier? Maybe I'm speaking out of my backside right now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but considering that today is Thanksgiving, and there are probably quite a few turkeys that have met a grisly demise in the last few days and weeks. I thought I'd kind of go on a bit of a turkey shoot of my own. And I'm going to show you two replays here where things just go so unbelievably well. And you know those kind of games in World of Tanks where for no apparent reason, you know, you've ended up in that perfect map, that perfect matchup, but that's not enough. That's not enough. It also, every single one of your shells seems to go where you aim it. Nobody seems to shoot you when you get appeared. You're kind of like running around like some kind of like little Superman, and that's the kind of games that we're going to be seeing here, which in my opinion constitutes a good old turkey shoot. So MT25, don't know what he's doing, but he's my opposite number. Tier 6 standard Soviet light tank versus a Tier 6 Chinese premium light tank in the Type 64. Not really a fair fight, and I have no idea why this thing is still available in the tech tree. I think this thing is probably one of the best light tanks tier for tier in the game. Since Wargaming changed the matchmaking of all of the light tanks, I think a year or so ago, and I've got to get some star points there for just holding the right mouse button down on the Su-85B, and even though he's no longer spotted, we shut him down. I'm going to go after the KV-1 as well. But the Type 64, since Wargaming changed that matchmaking for all light tanks, just feels absolutely crazy now, meeting tier 4 tanks, whereas previously it would meet vehicles up to, I guess, tier 9 back in the day with the old +3 -1 matchmaking that light tanks had. And so considering the vehicle didn't get nerfed at all and it just had its matchmaking buffed by an entire tier, that just makes this thing absolutely silly. And that means in the first 2 minutes of this game we have already secured ourselves 6 kills. I'm not saying it's so impressive, oh my word, it's so amazing. Do you think that that's what the Americans are doing, like in the week before Thanksgiving? They're going around going, oh yeah, I'm going to take out all these turkeys. No, doing this kind of makes me feel bad. Probably not at the time. At the time, I think I had a bit of a glazed look on my face because I realized, look, these are all the puppies of World of Tanks. These are the kind of players that need protecting against me. And I just got quite fortunate that I guess there's a very casual player, even though he's played 45,000 games on the enemy team. God, get your words right. In an MT25. And it's just completely ridiculous that probably a stock MT25 even gets matched up against a Type 64. And so I do feel bad as I'm putting them down. But yeah, the end result is going to be something quite tasty in the post-game result screen. And a bit of a whiff there against the SU-100. I thought I could manage to shoot him on the move. And finally, the turkeys are kind of pecking back, or the seals are clubbing back, one of the two, as the Stuk 3G puts a round into me along with the T-67. But not quite enough for him, as we secure our 9th of the game, now in just under 3.5 minutes. It's getting absolutely ludicrous. But unfortunately, the Chaffee gets shut down by the T-34 shielded on my team, and I'm just racing ahead thinking, oh, can I get the T-67? Well, can I make it 10 kills in less than 4 minutes? It wasn't to be. Next up, we're jumping up a few tiers and we're playing in a vehicle which I truly despise. So why not play the tanks that you really are not thankful for on Thanksgiving Day? Sounds like a good thing to do, right? But it's still going to result in an absolute turkey shoot. So the AMX M454, why do I hate this tank? It's because Wargaming just overbuffed the Super Conqueror for no reason when they released it. Well, actually, just before they released it on the test server, they bumped up its gun depression to 10 degrees. They increased its rate of fire and its aim time and its gun handling to that of the FV215B, which the whole point of the tank was that it was fairly lightly armored, the FV215B, but it had an incredible 120mm gun. So Wargaming basically just took the best gun on any heavy tank and put it on now an incredible chassis that the Super Conqueror has, with all the space protection, especially over the turret, and it's now just a legendary tank, to say the least. And this tank suffers for it, especially if you choose to use the 120mm gun on this tank. I cannot bring myself to use the 120mm gun on this tank because then I always think, well, I'd rather be playing a Super Conqueror. However, this tank has the option of using a 130mm gun, which has 560 average damage, which is bizarre because that was exactly what we rolled with our first shell. So yeah, no RNG on the first shot, however RNG on the second one. My 560 average dipping down to 443, ugly. And of course, with this 130mm main armament, as I said in my full tank preview of the vehicle, it can be really gnarly when you do start to roll high, and you're able to one-shot things and trade very effectively with tanks that otherwise wouldn't expect it. They kind of usually expect to get hit for about 400 from this tank. And so if you can trade 1-for-1 with even a Badger, I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it. He will do 480 to me and I'll do 560 to him. Sure, his rate of fire is wild, which means of course I need to pull back every single time so I don't get tapped twice by him, because then he's going to win the engagement. But all in all, with the decent frontal armor on this tank that just seems to be very usable, if of course they don't hit a weak point on top. And if they don't hit your cheeks as you come around the side here, they're going to hit the cheeks, which actually become very, very flat. You're going to be in trouble. So I'm reloading a high explosive round here. We see that the Badger takes the bait, shoots the front track, doesn't do any damage to me, and I finish him off with the HE round. And now I'm going to start to load premium rounds here, because the standard penetration on this tank is rather low at 250, and even the premium pen on this tank is only 280. That's not exactly fantastic, and I think I'm going to need all the help I can get to go after the Jagdtiger. But luckily for me, the standard B got his health lowered down, and in fact, somebody actually hit that Jagdtiger just before I did, which means that we've picked up 2 kills with 2 shots. And yeah, I think you might be seeing where I'm going with this. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3 here. When the stars align, then the standard B goes back to the garage. And with a WZ 113G FT, one of my favorite tier 9 tank destroyers, that is just beautiful for trading like a giant ISU 152 with a tier 10 tank destroyer gun. I tried to ram him to death, but unfortunately leave him on 4 hit points after the 137 ram, so we have to put in another shell, which I believe that's 4 for 4 now. And look at this! The stars continue to align as the GW Tiger P appears. Somebody doesn't quite manage to finish him off with a single shot, and I'll say thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I'll take that. Another 1 to the kill tally, now up to 6. And with 3 tanks left on the enemy team, I was thinking, oh, surely, come on, it can't keep going like this, right? So in these kind of scenarios, what some people do, and occasionally if I'm trying to go for something like a pulls or I'm trying to complete a mission, I might hold the shot. But I've just decided that I was gonna aim for as long as I needed to. Not gonna hold the shot to try and secure the kill, to try and get some big hero medal like a Radley Walters. I was just gonna keep firing, and I think that's the 5th kill or the 6th kill in a row there. We're just single shots right now. This was just an absolute bizarre moment for this tank. But when this does happen, it does feel rather good, and especially in a tank like this, because this tank is just absolutely tragic. And I'm just waiting for the object 704. All right, so if I hold my fire, I could get a Radley Walters medal, but I just fire early. And because it was in the back of the tank, we get rewarded, I guess, for our good karma that we weren't going to be some scumbag and try and steal the kill from the team. Do they own the kill? I guess it's kind of everybody's duty to just keep firing until the tank dies and never gets the kill. It's a roll of the dice. But I get rewarded with a nice roll of 639 damage and also the engine fire there. Glad I aimed at the back of that vehicle. Picking up a Radley Walters medal in just over 4 minutes. And so there you go. I've killed the turkey so you don't have to. Just a disgusting amount of hero medals here for the Type 64. I'm not going to claim it was a hugely skillful game. It was just a case of having a tank that should never really meet tier 4 vehicles in completely the right scenario. But unfortunately, the MX M4 game was not an ace tank. I keep getting really, really frustrated in this vehicle. I just can't seem to ace it. Maybe my luck will change if I try and play a few games in it tonight. Anyway, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed 17 combined kills and pretty much 8 minutes of gameplay there, with just a couple of silly replays to celebrate Thanksgiving. And I'd like to give a big thank you to all of you in the spirit of this day, just to thank you all for keeping on coming back and enjoying my terrible content. I'm just the luckiest guy to be able to do what I do. And in the end, it all comes down to everyone out there who keeps commenting, everyone who keeps either liking or disliking the videos, sharing them with your friends, or even those who have gone as far as to sponsor the channel or pick up one of my stupid t-shirts. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I've got some really good content coming up for you. I'm not going to make a promise, but I'm going to say that from now until the end of the year, I am going to try and release a video every day without dipping the quality. In fact, I'll try and turn the quality up. How about that? Does that sound like a good thing? And so, more to come. And as always, thank you all for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.